as we saw in Kolkata, as we tend to see institutionally, the first attempt when a crime like this happens is a cover up. And you have very clearly said that in this case, too, the school attempted to cover up the crime instead of helping the parents. Can you share with us what has really disturbed you? What has been the response of the school? And are you, with all honesty, hand on your heart, happy with the way the police has behaved now that the parents have said that they were made to wait for 12 hours, including a pregnant mother in that wait? How do you respond, ma'am?
I would say the correct things on fact, hand on the heart and God overhead. You see, yesterday the whole day I was at Badlapur, and I was really saddened when hearing the what happened to the little two girls. They are actually girls of Maharashtra. Sensitivity was lacking. You see, ma'am, I have been serving as a child right chairperson for the past 2 years. Earlier, I was a chairperson of Mahila Ayog. So while cogitating on the way from Badlapur to Mumbai, which is a 2 hours long drive, and earlier also I've taken up this issue, there has to be constructive effort to ensure that a systemic change is made. So what I've done today, I've taken a press conference today and suggested that a structure like a crime branch should be formed for women and child. Let us not forget, we are 70% of the total population, whether it be taluka, whether it be the districts or nation at large. So, like a crime branch, a structural unit, a mini police station in the existing police station, and maybe a desk if it's at the tehsil level, which only handles women and children issues, because they need
Okay.
all the sensitivities, they need all the training. If you see under the JJ Act also, there is a provision for a police protection officer, for a child protection officer. But
What do you
usually,
think the school? What do you
besides,
think the school and these are recommendations,
yes,
forward-looking
they
recommendations?
delayed.
Before I go
They
to
delayed.
Priyanka, who delayed?
They
The school or
delayed.
the police
The
or both?
school delayed.
Who delayed? The school or
Both,
the police or both?
both, both.
Okay.
Let us
Okay.
go on record in saying so. The school delayed,
Okay.
they didn't meet the parents, and that's how maybe the Pore protest happened. They got to know about the incident on the 14th. Nothing happened till the parents went to the 16th to the police station. That is one part. I've asked them a very categorical question. I was there yesterday. I started a preliminary investigation since I was there. The senior education officers there with me, including the minister of the education, Deepak Kesarkarji. The report will come to me in a short while. I
Okay.
specifically asked the school as to why POXO should not be levied on them because of the delay. You see, Barkha, in this, let us act constructively. I, Priyanka, and all other women who are politicians, but we are women politicians. Let us come together. I invite them. Then let us come together, form a constructive policy, or how our women and children be best
Okay.
protected.
I
Politics
will
aside.
say, I will say that it is. I'm glad you're being candid about the delay by both the school and the police. Let's take that to Priyanka. Priyanka, as an opposition leader, you've been very critical about the handling of what happened, this horrible thing that has happened in the school, the sexual abuse of two girls younger than 5 years of age in their school toilet. You have Susie Bin Shah here acknowledging that neither the school nor the police acted with the promptness that they should have shown. That's an admission. And she's saying, now let's be constructive. What do you say?
Okay, so firstly, Malika, I'd just like to correct you. I've not been vociferous just about this particular issue. This because it comes from Maharashtra and it is about 4-year-old girls who probably
Yeah.
have not even learned lessons about good touch, bad touch, and have had to face this kind of a sexual assault, vis-a-vis other incidents that have happened across the country. So I've been equally vociferous for every issue that Indian women have faced and how we continue to ignore and not prioritize women's safety in this country as far as children's safety is concerned. All right. Now, coming to the point that I was just listening to, and I'm not going to get into tutu meme. What candid admission are we talking about? 13th is when this incident was known. 12th is when this incident takes place. 13th is when this incident came to be known. The family took the child for a private medical visit. And that is when they realized that something, the bigger issue, what the bigger issue was. It was a matter of sexual assault, where her vaginal entry showed in 1 inch space. So that was something that the parents took charge of. The school did not come forward and admit what had happened. That's part one. 16th is when this FIR, 16th, again, 12-hour wait, only 17th early morning was this FIR launched. Ma'am was talking about, with all due respect to whatever she's saying, she was talking about her visit on the 20th. Now, please, 20th was when the protest started. 16th to 20th, there has been total silence from the government. Now, second point, including the ministers that she's naming, including the Home Minister of Maharashtra, including the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Again, even the opposition did not raise a voice simply because we hoped, considering what Maharashtra's cultural legacy is and what Maharashtra talks about and Maharashtra walks about women's safety, would be adhered to, right? It is only when the protests began that we saw a flurry of press conferences and preliminary investigation and candid admissions, etc. Now let's keep that aside. There have been some very constructive suggestions coming from ma'am. I was just on a debate with her yesterday, and I said, Shakti Act, Criminal Act, has every of these suggestions that she's coming forward with. There was a Shakti criminal law which had the approval of joint committee across political parties. Mahavikas Aghadi, because it was a priority of Uddhav Bala Sahib Thackeray, had come up with the Shakti bill. It was passed after debate, discussion, disagreement, but everybody was on board with having a more stringent law, having separate police forces, assigned to such crimes against women, crimes against children. Separate investigating team, which would focus only on these crimes. Separate courts that will only focus on ensuring prosecution. Also, a commitment from the government of Maharashtra that investigation would take place within 15 days and it would go on trial within 30 days. All
Yeah.
that was needed. Assent given, but then you pull down a government. The presidential nod is awaited. 2022, Devendra Fadnavis comes to power illegally, unconstitutionally, immorally, and commits that now that they have a double engine sarkar, they will ensure that the speedy approval is given. We're sitting in
Okay.
2024, man. Yesterday, also on a debate sheet, Madam continued to argue that all of these bills have been, incorporated. All these provisions in the Shakti Act have been brought into the BNS. I'm sorry, none of this has been brought into the BNS. And whatever the constructive suggestion is a suggestion which is already incorporated, and all it needs is a presidential approval. Perhaps if we had just one last second.
Okay.
Perhaps
Okay.
if we had that in place, if that approval we had that in place, the nod we had that in place, we would probably be able to handle this better. That is all I would like to say. And I'm
Okay,
not going to ask any questions of this government or expect any answers from this government because they've already washed their hands off by saying it's a political stunt. The entire protest was a political stunt.
Okay. Before I go to Susie Ben Shah, I have one question of you. If you had to fault the Eknath Shinde government for their handling of this case, is the fault in the delay between the 13th and the 20th? Is the fault in how long the police took to file the FIR? And also, since you said in the beginning that you have always been outspoken on issues that concern the safety of women and girls, and that's true, I've known you a long time. Would you concede that we're dealing with something systemic here? From Kolkata to Badlapur, we are dealing with something systemic here, which is cover-ups and insensitivity and callousness by police.
Okay, so two things, ma'am. Insensitivity is across board. We are a state which has been at the forefront of ensuring women get justice. We've had women leaders, we've had women in reforms, we've reformed our societies. Maharashtra is one of the progressive states. So, and law and order is a state subject. So you have a very important act which is pending approval and we're not working on it. Then we have ourselves to blame, right? The government has to take that blame, has to take the onus, or it refuses to take the onus. That's point one. Now, not just the delay, ma'am, not just the delay from 16th to the 20th. That's not my only problem. Shouldn't the Home Ministry have ordered the school to be closed down? Because if you look at the sequence of events, there is no CCTV which is, and there are three versions. A, there are no CCTVs. That is the director. Director also happens to be a BJP office bearer. That there are no CCTVs in that school, which is again illegal.
Yeah.
Then CCTVs are there, but they're not functioning as per the principal who has been sacked. Again, isn't that illegal? Third, which is a lot of these parents who are out there protesting their version, saying that the CCTV footage has been damaged. That is a criminal offense. Shouldn't the school have been immediately sealed so that there could be foolproof case against this particular individual? Now coming forward and saying, oh, we are making SIT, everything, this has all come. Please remember, this has come after the protest, after people have come out on the roads, after the outrage. Maharashtra hasn't seen this kind of outrage. Women coming and saying that instead of giving us 1,500, we're willing to give you 2,000, but please keep our children safe.